watch me, to listen to me read this letter that I wrote to, well, I originally wrote it to the Attorney General's office, and I also sent it to news organizations. I sent it to my senators, my congressmen, NAACP. I joined the ACLU just so I could at least try, maybe get some help. They haven't even, and I've never got anybody on the phone from them. I understand that everybody don't agree with me fighting back against all the stuff that I feel I'm faced against. 'Cause last night I stayed up all night, constantly trying to find something, the right words, what to say, how to get some help. Cause I cannot not fight to get my stuff right. It's not in me. I will. First of all, how can I not fight to get my credit straight in order to keep my stuff together? People tell me I'm fighting all y'all, want me to play defense. These people attacking me. These teabag of terrorists are attacking me. And that's my new word instead of calling them racist or all of them, separatists. People you can believe whatever you want. This is America. None of us gotta like each other. I personally get along great with white folks, especially those independent redneck fellas, because they don't want you to step on their toes. Good, don't step on mine. And a real person, they come in all shapes and colors. So I don't have no problems with people. I get along with some of the most redneckiest people in the world. Because, I understand folks. What? What you trying to do, boo? I don't know. Anyway, I apologize. You're right. What I mean is, it don't matter who it is. I don't get along with most black folks because I personally think that you're supposed to stand up for each other, not stand up if it don't affect your money. I went to that. They had 2 teabagger rallies here in Nashville in the past, 3 months. I went to 2 of them. First one was at the Coliseum downtown. What's that called? The straight down Broad Street. Summit Center. And cause everything they were saying, I'm in agreement with. I do not believe our government or any institution or religion should run everybody's life. I was taught from Vera that my ancestors are the reason why I want to act good. Because she told me when I was sitting on her lap as a kid, that she'd be watching over me. That she was going to be up there making sure I was taken care of. As long as I became a good person. And I believe that. And it's don't come true. Because, well, let's face it. You can't name too many people that done got hit by a train, thrown 50-some feet from a car, got shot at within 10 feet of each other 8 times and only got hit once straight 3 times, and that dude got met off worse than I did. Because he shot me, I stabbed him. I'm walking. So not to mention my childhood, man. You remember the stuff I used to go through? I mean, half the stuff you didn't even know. I walked down streets when I was a kid, you know, being the only one, and everybody I gotta protect mine. I took ass beatings, but at the same time, I was still able to walk them streets. Because after I took them, I learned how to give them. And even if I couldn't give more than I took, at least they respected that I wasn't messing with nobody, and they would let us pass because we part of this neighborhood. Because I come to their defense just like when I got older, they came to my defense. It's a respect thing. But, Ma, I don't care how loud I gotta talk to these folks. I don't care who I gotta talk to. They not finna keep treating me bad. I'm not finna take it. And I know for the last couple of months, it's been kind of hard to look at what I do with respect, because basically all I'm living off of is an unemployment check. But I see that all the actions I was doing is so that when I do get a better job, because I don't go backwards. None of my resume shows where I go from $3 to $2, $5 to $4. If anything, every time, every step your son makes after he'll sit back and thought, he go from $10 to $15, $15 to $20. So if I was regulating by my life and my achievements by how much money I could or could not make, then I would have made a bunch of different choices. I'd be rich right now. Half of my inventions in my head would have been done, because I would have sacrificed everything for an invention instead of standing up for what I wanted or doing stuff how I wanted. You know, you got on TV, they got this invention here. You know, I did that, Mom. I gave them folks two of my inventions. But when I couldn't keep coming up with the money so that they can keep taking care of my business, well, 2 years later, you get stuff like spree wheels, and I couldn't get my idea back, because basically once you give it to these folks, what happens is if you cannot keep it up, it goes into a trash bin, which any person who works there gets to pick through, and then they can find finances. So if they keep you on the rope, and if they keep you playing the game, then, you know, eventually you run out of money. Same thing out here in these streets. Same thing we got to deal with every day, Mom. And they talking like these teabaggers are the truth. I got up here to read this letter to you, and I got a little sidetracked. I'm hurting, and I'm tired of it. And I will not continue to let these folks mess with me. You know, I've been accused of a whole bunch of stuff in my life. I have no felonies. The worst they could ever catch on me was a bag of weed, Mom. I done got stopped over 200 times. $70 of them is strictly on, you look suspicious. You fit the profile. What are you doing in this neighborhood? Okay. You taught me well, you know. I don't go nowhere dirty. I don't mess myself up. I don't do dumb stuff. Well, first of all, because I've been hot my whole life. I can't walk down the street without them wanting to search me. I done got my car, I done got, what's this? March, February of last year, by January 6th of last year, I got stopped 4 times before the 6th of January because my tags went out on the 31st. 2 of those times I had to sit in the car. 2 of them times they had to put, while I'm sitting in the car, they searching my car. 2 of them times they ride the dog around because I wouldn't let them search my car. They ain't find nothing because I ain't stupid and I ain't finna do nothing stupid. I don't do drugs. Unlike our ex-president George W. Bush, you know, but America got its first junkie president, and they got exactly what a junkie do. So, you know, if we allow these same junkie type folks to take over our country again, know that they have taught me, if not no one else, how to defend my American rights, because they done did everything from bringing guns around our president. I wrote down some stuff. I didn't even want to go into this because I just want to read my letter, because all this, I done sent this to everybody. You know what's done happened? Child support called me saying they didn't know I got married, even though we got married downtown, Justice of the Peace. Even though we turned our paperwork in to what is his name, the EBT folks, saying that my family needed some help and we got some food stamps. Man, I ain't finna let my family suffer just out of no pride. I'm just gonna make more money. I'm gonna get myself off of it. But when I need my state, I'm gonna do what I got to feed them little mothers. So, for them to constantly keep blackmailing me, refusing to eat. I mean, this lady gonna tell me it's my fault, and I should have sent her the papers, and that it was us getting food stamps that opened up the case, but they don't know we married. I said, okay, then call them and tell them they got a 105. The lady tells me they don't interact between officers. She sent you a paper to open the case, but y'all don't talk. You can't call them. You can't send an email. That's how you got your stuff. These are the political little bull games that got me 18,000 in the hole, saying that my son, my kids that I raised every day of their life, I owe the state for. I'm 18 in the hole, so when I try to buy a house, I can't get nothing. But, I'm supposed to accept this. I'm supposed to be happy about it. I'm supposed to, just play the game. Well, everybody getting,
time out.
ain't no time.
Time out. You said.
I don't want no time. All this going on, Mama.
What I'm saying, you've already said what you had to get out. And I heard you. Okay? I heard you. I agree with you. I've heard you. This is not what you need to get out.
Yes, it is.
No, not to them.
See, that's my problem, Ma. That's where I will never be just the shield.
Okay. The reason why is I want you to have enough space on the camera. That's what I'm saying.
That's why that's the smartest woman I know. I started this letter on October 19, 2009, 6:40 p.m. I sent the packet to Mr. Eric Holder and also one to Mr. Aletha Brown. Eric Holder is the Attorney General. Aletha Brown is the Inspector General of the EEOC. And it's regarding OIG Control Number 208-2882, EEOC Charge Number 494. 2008-00785C. And I wish to also say that right there is evidence of criminal negligence, fraud, theft, and manipulation of evidence. I wish to add that part of my stuff. It starts out, Mr. Holder and Ms. Brown. I apologize sending this to you so many. I apologize to sending this to so many prior to any dealings with you, sir, and dealing with Ms. Brown's office again. However, every time I've had dealings with my state government offices, reprisals have continuously come about. I would rather this time that all the evidence is taken into accord. and the truth is seen by someone who doesn't have a vested interest in my failure of justice. And this week alone, I've had 2 instances of institutionalized corruption attacking my family. First, I catch my bank, Bank of America, stealing $105 out of my account by manufacturing fraudulent overages. Then on Friday, I am told that right after my wife gives the clerk her check to deposit, that she can't get any money back out because of hold put on out of my stuff for their maximum of 2 years. Even though I showed them recorded evidence, pictures of a crossing without any warning sign, and noticed the driver admitted person watching back was out of place. They wouldn't do anything. I did win my money back from the IRS. They then went after my wife and stole $3,000. Saying she didn't fill out her claim right. Even with the change they said was a mistake, she had zero difference in how much her return was. And after that, because I complained about the harassment of the police, of myself and other workers at a club I worked at, the corrupt police department allowed someone to shoot me while working and then refused to follow up. They were undercover cops in the building as the person shot at me at least 8 times around the club. Of course, everybody knows this because they clammed up. Anyway, since my dealing with the Nashville EOC and going to Miss Brown's office, I have been stopped by the police 5 times, 2 times right after your letter on the 15th of September to check my license and registrations, and 3 from the 3rd through the 6th of January. My tags had went out on the 31st of December. While I must admit I have been stopped over 200 times in my short life, 75 of which were for you fit the description or suspicious activity in the neighborhood. I have no felonies and only 2 speeding tickets. Well, 3 now. Now I've been followed home at least twice a week since moving up here. Although not stopped, I am truly tired of living under siege. I'm either going to have to pawn something or borrow some money just to send you this package. I am not a lawyer, nor am I a writer. I would say that this is my one Achilles heel. My mind has too many thoughts trying to process at one time, most times to sit and try to put it on paper. Mainly because I can't type. Well, not exactly true. I am getting kind of better. So please bear with me if I get too descriptive. I'm just trying to get the truth out. I want my life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness unfettered by a hypocritical part of my society with too much power due to corruption, fear-mongering, and I know that's a little way out there for most of you to think on, and all of you have made your own way in your own form or fashion. I've never thought of my life's legacy as defined as how much money I have made or how much power I control. I guess I've always thought of my life in more of an honor and respect type of outlook on life. I honor my family and my ancestors by trying to be a righteous and fair man. My kids by showing them how to carry themselves as gentlemen, leading them to a better, safer world because they saw me treat people with respect. They will do the same. And how to do and bow to no man or think that anyone is better than them, that they have the potential to be. So I'm only as great as they think I am. I protect my family, and I provide for my family. I have quite the legacy to uphold also. I mean, my mother is or has been a chemist, union steward, IRS agent, and environmentalist. Between my uncles and aunts, it's a bunch of stuff I went into because basically they always try to make you, well, they say I don't know how to carry myself. You don't know how to speak. You don't know how to speak. They make insinuations that I'm uncontrolled. Mom, anything, and it's first thing they say is they believe. It's belief. You're violent because you frown. You better watch when I cry. You better watch when I'm smiling. If I'm frowning, I'm thinking. If I'm smiling, it's either because I'm laughing or I've got some evil intent towards your ass. Anyway, I don't want to go into my family stuff, but I will say I personally have been certified as a restaurant manager, inventory specialist, mortgage loan processor, an electrician, certified armed and unarmed security guard, and capable of carpentry and plumbing work. My last major job was as the head of maintenance in a hotel. I have dreams of still getting some of my inventions, my theories, patented and helping build my family's business, Goodwin and Associates, into a viable legacy left for my kids and my cousins and their kids so that we can better our descendants' choices, live the American dream sort of type thing. I have been going to these rallies sponsored by the Republican Teabagger Party. I have been fighting for so long to get justice. I want to hear how those that have been allowing and owning the business that do so much evil to my community and to my family were complaining about. I want to know what y'all talking about. And I keep hearing two main points being drifted by these people as their rationale for the policies and ways of treating and thinking of other Americans. One is the poor and black folks choose to be poor by waiting for handouts and not wanting to hand up. Although I don't understand what they mean about that, because they say them teabaggers were also saying that the exact words were the government was geared towards a black man, for the black folks, to help us out. And I kept asking folks, and I was like, if that's how you feel, why is it our neighborhoods got to be the poorest? I mean, all the jobs around our houses, the McDonald's and everything, where you make most of your money, are the cheapest paid people. They use words like comparative wages, where they say, and this is the reason they able to do it, they say that you can't get somebody to work at a fast food out in the richer neighborhoods for the same price as you can get somebody in the poor neighborhoods. That's it. And then and it's so corrupt right now that it's almost broken down it's broken down by your zip code. This part of Gallatin is minimum wage. Down the street, okay, you pay them 50 cents more because they're closer to Gallatin, Tennessee. They make half the money you do in yours, but they make all their profit of it. Same company own the same McDonald's. Yet our stuff look like garbage because in order to pay somebody to clean up, because we're not nowhere near as dirty as the same stores be in the morning times out in other neighborhoods. We don't get those paid. That's where we get cut. That's where they make their profit. In our neighborhood, well, I say this, last job I worked at, it was okay for the workers, the people who make the money for the hotels, their entire payroll was 24% of the weekly gross. 24%. You got over 24, you start cutting in people hours. And since this stuff done gone out, this teabagger, he cut his whole crew to less than 32 hours so that he wouldn't have to pay insurance on none of it. Whole crew, man. This is the stuff we got to deal with. These same people who up there talking about that Obama's trying to reach into their pocket, they reaching in ours every day. If that's what I was asking them, teabaggers. I was like, if you are for real about what you say is what you stand up for, then turn around and look at your state government. Y'all practice, these same people that you putting in office every year are doing the same thing to us. So if you have that right to protect yourself and your economy, don't I have the right to protect mine? And two, that if you allow, and the second point they kept saying that if you allow more government involvement, it will take over how you live your life. Both of these, I come to believe, are every bit a front and cover for spreading unpatriotic sentiment and trying to increase the tedious and unstable balance between cultures, an instability fostered and fanned by them, with an agenda that cannot be based on anything other than race. I think I am raising my kids to know no one race has the right nor continued privilege of being treated as greater than the whole. America is the greatest country in the world, therefore you are greatness. And to any who treats me as less, these people are nothing but potential traitors in our midst. I see congressional representatives in their names spreading anti-American agendas on foreign soil twice. I see war criminals getting out because of whom they are and bragging about it. Cheney still say he okay with waterboarding people. Okay? I also have seen these same people make every excuse to persecute anyone that doesn't look or act as they do or denounce any that speak ill of them. I don't believe that just because your family raped my country and made big bucks, you are an American. That just means you raped my country and owe her some money on the table. Or because your religion vilified all others to near submission that this is just your country. It just means you have lied, cheated, and stole better than the others. Because you can't say all the good things and forget how you kept it. You decimated my ancestors and took their land. You brought the majority of my forebears over to be your slave. And you alienated those of my genealogy that had the balls to marry their native or black wife, husband in a time when it was more prudent to be, by your standard, to just rape them. Yeah, I got white folks in my family. I got love for them and I got respect for them too. But they at least married they folks. These people are our domestic terror threat, simply because they will try to profit from anything that we allow to happen, whether financially or politically. They are an eyesore, a cancer on our society, a throwback to things done wrong. In addition, if that regime takes over again, because of your weakness in leadership and lack of spine, then I, for one, will know that the true American dream is broken. And I guess I will take my Republican overlords' advice and liberty tree and all that. Nevertheless, for right now, I still believe my country is trying to do the right thing. Moreover, I, along with other 60% who put you in office, will support you until you show that you are not worthy. Vice President Joe Biden, though, sold me on the Obama ticket after seeing him on the Meet the Press the first time. I voted for McCain. I actually voted for McCain in 2000 because he seemed like the right ticket, because he was talking about helping human rights in 2000. But in 2008, Joe Biden got on there and he showed what true leadership skills when he went on Meet the Press and counted that Tom Brokaw, hypocrite, and he sold me on the ticket. You know, Obama still, he's proven that he got some guts to me, and he's proven that he knows how to fight the right fight. I just hope he can finish it out. I am trying to bring about criminal charges and civil charges against my state government, Tennessee, and city's government in Memphis and Nashville, namely the District Attorney's Office in Memphis, the Juvenile Court and Child Support Services here in Nashville and also in Memphis, Civil Court Judge, Judge Lanier, and the criminal courts, both of them, the EEOC, the Better Business Bureau, Nashville Metro Human Relations Commission, Memphis Light, Gas, and Water Utility Company, Memphis and Nashville Police Departments, also the counties of Shelby and Davidson County, for criminal negligence, conspiracy to commit fraud, blackmail, extortion, perjury, and other things to be named, other charges to be named later. Once I talked to an attorney who actually talked to me, because the list that the NAACP gave me wouldn't talk to me for less than 10 grand. First, as 10/16/09, my accounts with Bank of America was being held up in a garnishment from CAC, Credit Acceptance Corporations Incorporated, saying that I owe $7,000 for a car I described earlier. To addition to those facts, CAC is the company that stole and repossessed the car from my home after legal proceedings had already been delayed by them. We had already started court proceedings, and the week before we go to court, they steal the car from me. This is after I done already proven, or at least shown my court system that A, they did not take the car through inspection, and B, that when they did take it through inspection, they got it to pass inspection with a crack in the window. Same faults. C, the only reason my car didn't, when I gave that my car to CAC, they not only messed up my engine, but I had a mechanic give a notarized letter to the court system saying that it was because of the work they did. They took said car to the auction, put a hold on it, and paid off my government $400 to resell at the same business partner, Tennessee Auto Sales dealership, at a high sale price. This is because I had to get the heads rebuilt due to faulty work done by TAS. No one else in the possession of the car except CAC Incorporated and my government, both who profited from this illegality. All a part of a public record. My government not only failed me, but also profited on both ends. Now both are being allowed by my bank, which will also profit through more made-up charges to pillage my family's finances. Charge number 2 against the EEOC. Charge number 494-2008-00785C. 95. I start this off talking about the EEOC to say that 95% of the people who go to the EEOC or their human resources for the help here in Tennessee are terminated within 3 months of their accusation. 99% of those people terminated who come to them for aid will not get their job back. Ms. Brown, on 9/15/08, your office wrote me a letter saying that it only investigates fraud, waste, abuse, and you also stated that you reviewed all the correspondence and made a query into EEOC's integrated management system. What is a query by your definition? What considers fraud or abuse? Mr. Holder, I ask the same from you because I see many. Let me reflect. Number 1, Vista Host and their human resources changed their story 3 times about why I was terminated. Lied about Denzel's record of people putting in complaints of harassment and racism. The EEOC found that he did try to make me cover up a health code infraction that he did instead himself. In addition, you have picture evidence of my entire timeline. I took pictures of everything from the moment that day started to the day ending because everywhere I went, he had an infraction. Everywhere he told me to work, he had an infraction trying to trip me up because if I didn't catch him, then he'd say that I wasn't doing my job. But when I catch him, I get terminated, which corresponds with everything I stated and shows holes in theirs from the truth omission. It was also found out he was an ex-cop who was released of duty for abuse of power. This aspect of him shall become more apparent as you look as how he conducts business. I was terminated from Hampton Inn because I asked my chief engineer if he had checked the boiler room. I said, "You're just not going to check the boiler." And I laughed when he verbally accosted me on the radio. Never before had anyone ever heard me say anything rude over the radio, and nobody in the testimonies had either. I don't talk to people in disrespect. I'm going to come to you with respect because that's what I demand in return. But that's just, what the EEOC would prefer to believe. They spent time building a case against me with the Vista Host. And each time they couldn't prove it. Anyway, allow me to continue. Kevin witnesses me finding the boiler not done and saw me fill out one before we left. This is a form saying that the boiler room had been checked and then I'd marked down the time and temperature of me coming in there. I was not only witness it not being a paper there, but it was somebody witnessing me put one there, which your paperwork shows Denzel took mine out and put another one up just to say he had already checked it. It's all part of record, but you wouldn't even, the EEOC wouldn't even talk to Kevin. Denzel, by his own words, said he had done the boiler. So why was I verbally abused? Why was there no paperwork? Why was I fired 2 hours later after following his instructions and finding another mistake on his part? Also, picture documentation goes along with that. Mistakes that led that by Denzel's own definitions were major infractions. Why was a person there less than a year held at a higher standard than the chief engineer? Number 3, the EEOC allowed VistaHost fraudulently to place multiple write-ups that I had never seen into my file to besmirch my credibility, saying I was violent, a poor worker, and that I was lazy, falsifying that I refused to sign some and leaving others blank. In addition, the EEOC accepted those as true even after evidence that I never, ever not signed anything I know is going to be a part of my permanent record. I'm going to put some on there, even if I disagree, which I have on many occasions. As the EEOC knows, because this ain't the first time I've dealt with them, and it ain't the first time I've brought up evidence that they ignored. But I digress. Through past dealings with the EEOC and the one write-up I did receive as a reprisal for going to Human Resources the week before. The EEOC even added some letters from after I was terminated, from Denzel accusing me of faulty workmanship and subterfuge. Overkill, crooked cop. The man wrote up that I had did sabotage work in which I tried to leave broken pipes in walls and something else he said. I ain't even paying no attention because I would get upset. And I laugh at ignorance, but I'm quite upset about this degradation. See? The EEOC abused its power by not only refusing to try to follow up any of the evidence I presented, but also hiding facts that they found to be true. That they found that I had seen a swastika brought to work by Denzel, yet explained how I could describe a flag, which was actually a pillow, to complete detail, by saying that I was listening at corners, and that's how I knew how the flag looked, because I was listening at corners I never saw. And that's more obvious than me saying that I know a flag that is actually a pillow. Another truth Denzel's overcompensating corruption told you is that Denzel and GM lied about Denzel having access to keys for the time clock, which I told them EEOC Denzel was tampering with. The key to the safety boxes Denzel lied and said his swastika was in is also the same key ring that the key to the time clock is on. The EEOC never checked the punch list, which told them I was accomplished bi-weekly in color code and signed, which would have definitely put a lie to them saying I'm a lazy or a poor worker. They, the EEOC and HR, never checked nor called any of my accolades left by Diamond and Platinum members on their review cards, because I came in second in our yearly review in my little short time there, tied with Dennis. But, you know, I have no customer skill. I do not know how to speak to people. I'm just a rude, uncouth ingrate. That's how they would describe me. That's more believable than some. How do the Human Resources and EEOC explain how even after being told I had to wait another month to be terminated for my 3-month evaluation and raise, that I got all pass or exceed expectations in my evaluation, receiving my full 50-cent raise? Yay. Not This was all being told I have to be a good yes man in order to succeed. And still, 4 months after all this happened, I'm still there. Obviously, I was doing something till he just couldn't take it. Neither the EEOC nor the Human Resource Office ever talked to GM or guest house about call from Denzel harassing my wife. We only had one male in management on the afternoon, Denzel Johnson. Harassment charges, complaint just given to the Human Resources, then both covered up.